What's going on, everybody? Welcome on to the Game Room Podcast, episode 83 of the Game Room Podcast. In fact, I'm Rome.
I'm Dev.
And this, as I said, is the Game Room Podcast, where we, each and every week, talk all the biggest news in video games, all the headlines. We talk about them. And we're going to be playing catch up this week because we didn't do a show last week because you got a new cat.
You got a cat, yep.
And she peed on your bed.
Yeah, and you get a new mattress.
She peed all over your bed. Ty does not like the music from Chrono Trigger. Devereaux made this the executive decision, Ty. You know, I just found out right when we went live. Ty, what song do you think Devereaux should put into the opener?
Am I going back to, what was the last one? Persona?
Yeah, no, it was Undertale.
Undertale.
But Ty loved it because of how much
Persona.
it sounded like Persona.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that's kind of why I picked it, because Undertale, like it's a really good. It's Megalovania with like a Persona poppy, upbeat, jazzy. It's great. And I really like it. I'm always obviously pushing for like some Zelda stuff. Maybe I'll have to pick something and get you to put it in there. But again, we have a lot that we're going to be talking about today, so we're going to dive right in. Let's talk number one on the headlines, our topic of the show. We were going to talk about it last week, but this just gave us more time to talk about it. Pokemon TCG Pocket. We've had it. You know, it came out October 30th, so going on in about 2 weeks, couple days short.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's talk about it. So, Dev, what are your initial thoughts on Pokemon TCG Pocket?
I'm loving it. I'm obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing it at least once a day, probably more, but at least once a day just to open up my packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's fun. I like it.
I don't think difficult's really the word to put for it. Ty says the song link you sent me is literally Undertale Persona beat. It's literally Undertale trying to be Persona. Yeah, that's what I said.
But it's still an Undertale song.
It's a song from Undertale. It's Megalovania, but it's done in a jazzy way, so it sounds like Persona. Regardless, wow, I've never seen this gameplay of opening 10 packs at once. That's got to be like a euphoria.
Oh, I've done it a few times.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I had a lot of the time stuff, so it's just very nice to open up 10 packs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like watching it. It's like that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
To just keep going. So I mean, I'll say this as I'm someone who's very skeptical of gaming in the mobile space. Not that it can't be popular, but I mean in terms of grabbing me in an audience, it's just something that like games have tried. They've come and gone. Some get me to log in a few times. I mean, Pokemon Go was the most successful, but even that kind of fell to the wayside for me because it was buggy. I had some bad experiences with it, and then kind of just dropped it. But this game has done a really great job at really kind of keeping me going past like the first week. Like for me in a mobile game, like past the first week is where the real test begins. It's like, okay, like how often am I going to log into this game when I have a choice to be doing something else? And I gotta say, like, this game has me coming back multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it is addictive. It kind of feeds into that nostalgic, going and trying to get all the Pokemon cards. Obviously, like as a kid, grew up, I had my binders, and then even as an adult, go out there sometimes buy some packs. Like I remember the 25th anniversary line came out, and I was like obsessed with getting like most of that run. Mm-hmm. And this kind of captures that.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like I thought I was just going to log in, collect my packs, and just be out. But I've really started to like the battling. That's what's brought me back to it so many times. It's a mix of skill and luck, a lot of luck.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to luck. I will say this though, this is definitely the most fun I've had playing like the card game because they kind of simplify a few things. Obviously, in the actual TCG, you have to worry about getting energy cards. Yeah. Now, admittedly, I haven't really tested the waters yet. They don't do that, right, in the multiplayer? Where it's like, because I'm just doing the single-player battles. It still does the whole circle.
Exactly
you get one energy every turn.
It plays exactly the same.
I think that that's a really good model where it's like, hey, you don't have to worry about energy cards. It really speeds up the gameplay. It really streamlines it. Between that and the fact that instead of 6 prizes, it's down to 3, which also they did away with the prize system, and now it's just a point system. I really think that it, like I said, it takes the Pokemon card game, which like if you played the original card game like I have, and like including like the old Game Boy Color games back in the day, like it can be kind of a like a slow moving game, at least in my opinion.
Okay. This definitely speeds it up.
No, it really does, and it makes it a lot more simple. It simplifies it, but the core of what battling in Pokemon TCG is still there.
Okay.
And so like I think it's really well done by them. Again, I think that they really captured like the card going experience, the card collector life experience, right? Where it's like you said, I open up the game and it's like, okay, time to open some packs, and like I'm looking through my Apex and like kind of trying to figure out what I still need, and then I'm doing some battles, trying to get some stuff there, and then I'm just scrolling through the app, like, okay, are there any like daily rewards I can pick up? Are there like, it's like I really want to keep playing. I want to keep getting another. I want to get another pack.
Yeah.
Can I scrounge together enough trophies or whatever you want to call them? I forget what their actual name is, but can I like scrounge enough of these together where I can open up one more pack today?
Yeah.
And like I texted you like a week in, and it's like I really want to get the membership.
I think
just for that.
Forrest already paid for the membership. He's more obsessed with it than I am.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm getting to a point now where I've kind of used up my trophies to get the hours. So it's like now it's like I'm opening only like about like 3 or 4 packs a day. And it's like I want it to be more like 6 packs a day.
You got time. I think there's another mini event in December, and then there's a whole new like pack reset like January, February.
Yeah, but I just love I love the attention to detail that this game goes through. Like if you change the language of the game, like say you change the language from English to Japanese, and then you go and open a pack, and all those cards are in Japanese. If you switch back to English,
I just found out about that yesterday.
Yeah, because you asked me about it.
Yeah,
they stay as Japanese cards.
That's really cool.
Like it's just so cool, and like
I've added. Well, some friends have added me as friends after battles, and I've accepted it. So now I see their cards in Wonder Pick, and I'm like, I can get Japanese cards in Wonder Pick.
And the Wonder Pick, awesome. The Wonder Pick feature is really cool, where it's just like,
and then you can buy individual cards after you open up a certain amount of packs.
Yeah, it's like
I think that's
they've great. Really gone out of their way, and it's really a phenomenal thing. You know,
if you're playing this, send your code to the group chat.
Yeah, put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is. He's not a Nintendo guy, so I don't know if he's playing this.
That's another thing I noticed. No one like. You have to grown up with Pokemon to be playing this.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been asking people, and like no one else is really playing this unless they've grown up with Pokemon.
Yeah, like I said, this really captures a lot of nostalgia for me. Where it's just like I just remember like having the binders full of cards. I still like now I have binders again, full of cards. But
I also saw a headline that since the game came out, I don't remember the release date. They've made $3 million a day.
Yeah.
With this game.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money.
Insane.
And.
We keep raking it in.
Yeah, it's just doing really well. Apparently, it's like doing better than Pokemon Go ever did, which is kind of crazy to think about because Pokemon Go was such a phenomenon. Yeah. But like we were more aware of it because people were actually like out and about doing it. Whereas like now you can just sit at home still.
Which I wonder if that
open in packs. Open in packs.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's really cool, and like I mean, I gotta give them credit. It's a game where. Like I'm gonna keep logging in. I'm gonna try to complete the collection. Like gotta catch them all. And yeah, I even love these cards that like you tap it and you hold it and it goes into the card.
Yeah,
the immersive
I haven't
art.
gotten any of those yet.
I showed you mine yesterday and Jackie showed you hers and it was just like
so cool.
It's like the coolest fucking thing.
I love that.
It's just, and it was a Charizard, so of course like I'm so happy because it's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like. It's just like, hey, you hold this this card, and here's Charizard battling like 20 other Pokemon by himself, just going at it, and it's just like, man, like they got it. They've hit this and they've nailed it, and we're still early. You know what I mean? Like there's more room to grow in the future. I mean, obviously trading's not available yet, which is like honestly killing me. Like I'm so like so badly I want to be like, hey, like I want to text you and be like, hey, what do you need? Like, here's what I have. Here's what I need.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. Like, that's gonna be a great day when trading's available. Like, come over. Let's figure it out. Let's let's make each other happy and get the cards we need. So yeah, we're gonna continue to cover this game in the future with updates and stuff like that. There is a Lapras event going on right now, which if you're lucky enough to get the Lapras card, yippee for you.
You got time.
I have a week,
yeah,
and we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm gonna do my best. But recent strides in other games have not taking my attention. But I mean, we'll talk about that when we wrap up the show. Any more thoughts on TCG Pocket before we move on?
Nope. We're going to be playing it for a while.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Somebody pointed out something that if you don't want to pay for it, you still get 720 free packs a year.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's just like, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know? I'm still going to... I have to hit up Forrest and see if it's like really worth it. Because it's like $10 a month.
He plays a lot more. But
Yeah.
again, you get that third pack a day.
That third pack is like really tempting.
Yeah.
Because it's like they have 3 packs. That's how they get you. Where it's like... All right. Usually I'll open up a Charizard and then I'll alternate between a Mewtwo and a Pikachu pack, and then that third pack I'm usually scrounging together some points to get, and I hit it like every day. Like you could easily open 3 packs a day, but like what about 4? You know what I mean? And then what about 5 and 6?
Oh no.
Well, so like let me run a hypothetical about through you. You know, I saw it today, and it's not even game related. Like let's say you're the first person in the world, Devo, to get 2 world records at the same time, right?
Okay.
So then, wouldn't you also be the first person to get 3 world records at the same time?
For having that... For
having 2? Yeah.
I guess so.
And then at that point, wouldn't you be the first to have 4 world records at the same time?
Yeah, I guess so.
And then at that point...
And it just keeps going?
It just keeps going, right? I saw that today, and I thought about that, and I was like... Damn, somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to like figure it out where like whatever the number is, there probably is a stat like that. It's like, okay, I have to set 6 world records and then I'll just keep building off of it. But it's like that with Pokemon cards. Like I want to open like 7 packs. That's what I want to do.
All right. Just open 10.
I don't have enough hourglasses. That's what they are. They're hourglasses.
Yeah. I think you need 110 of them.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have that many. Unless I spend the money for them.
Yeah.
Anyways. Number 2 in the headlines. This is something that happened last week, and I really wanted to talk to you about it and get your thoughts on it. Nintendo made another big announcement, Devereaux. And it's still not the Super Switch. Nintendo at this point doing the avoid revealing Super Switch challenge level impossible. Announced a music streaming app for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers. Features a curated playlist themed around games, moments, and moods or characters. You can also build your own playlist. It also supports streaming as well as downloading tracks for offline listening. It includes a spoiler-free feature if you want to like filter out spoiler tracks. You know,
I don't even know. I can't even think of a song that spoils the game.
Song of Time. It's like, damn it. The Ocarina of Time has a song called the Song of Time. It's crazy. So this is like really funny.
Yeah.
Because so like for years, like I grew up and going on YouTube, there was always a battle with Nintendo to this day about like being able to just listen to Nintendo music.
Yeah.
It's like the most absurd thing. There used to be this YouTuber called Silver Gun, and like his channel was nuked by YouTube, so he kept making
just to upload music.
And what he would do is he's like, hey, I'm not monetizing it, I'm not putting ads on it, like I'm just putting up all of Nintendo's soundtracks because they don't. And like Nintendo's like, first of all, how dare you? No, and just it's just been a whole thing for years. And then we talk like I always think about other like, for example, like Mario Odyssey, right? And like Jump Up Superstar is such a great song. It's so catchy. It's so wonderful. There's nowhere I can go on my Android. None of the streaming services like have it. And so like then I have to like settle for covers, and some of the covers are pretty good. Like I'm not trying to take anything away from that, but like I want the original official song.
I get it.
And Nintendo's like, no. I'm just like, why can't you be normal? I just want to listen to a song from the game you put out. I own the game.
Yeah.
Like, can you at least like release it yourself so that way you're making money?
So are you downloading this app?
I have the app.
Okay.
I've been using it.
Oh, okay.
In Nintendo fashion, I have some issues with it. Number one, the idea is cool, and I appreciate it for what it is, and I've used it, like I said. But like, would you believe me if I told you that there are no?
Here we go.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
There are no pre-Switch Pokemon game soundtracks in this game.
That's insane.
In this app. There's only one Zelda game. Ocarina of Time is the only Zelda game on this app right now. Here, in fact, you know what? I'll tell you. I will open the app right now, and I will tell you the only games that are available on the Nintendo Music app.
You know they're going to add this part of the Direct, like...
They are. And here, I am going to have an issue with it. So hold on. So
that's crazy.
Hold on. So search game by title. I have it ranked in years. So I'm going to start in ascending order, starting in 1985. Is the app free? So the app is free to download, but you have to be a Nintendo Switch Online member. And that's makes sense, honestly. Like, I'm not even going to knock them for that. It makes a lot of sense. And I have thoughts about that, but hold on. So they have Super Mario Brothers for the NES. They have the Famicom version of Metroid for the NES, Dr. Mario for the Game Boy, Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 for the Super Nintendo. Now, Donkey Kong Country 2, they added last week. So they are going to trickle these through, clearly.
Okay.
Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo. And now we're on the N64. So there's probably like 5 games you could easily think of that we've skipped.
Yeah.
So 1997, Star Fox 64, banger of a soundtrack. I loved listening to this soundtrack. Ocarina of Time. That's it for the N64.
Wow.
2 games. Metroid Prime for the GameCube and Fire Emblem for the GBA. Again, also great games. Not much of a Metroid Prime music guy, but Fire Emblem has some good music. Nintendogs, the Wii channels. Yes, the Wii channels.
Those deserve to be on
there.
They
do deserve to be on there. Like Wii Sports, Super Mario Galaxy, Tamagotchi Collection, Breath of the Wild. Oh, so I guess there's 2 Zelda games. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Odyssey, Kirby Star Allies, Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I'm going to pause right here. How long do you think... Okay, hold on. The 2-part question. Animal Crossing New Horizons, right? You played it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, right? Mm-hmm. How many songs do you think tracks are in Animal Crossing New Horizons?
Honestly, a lot.
Go ahead, guess. I'll give you 3 guesses.
100?
No.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
150?
No, higher.
Higher? 200?
No, higher.
How much?
407 tracks.
Okay.
12 hours worth of original music.
Damn.
That's
awesome.
It is, but it's like, holy shit.
I did not
and then Splatoon 3, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the only Pokemon games, Pikmin 4, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And that's it.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it's like, I know what they're doing. They're going to drip feed us these songs. And here's the problem with that, right? Listening to music is not the same as like playing a game. When you sit down and you play a game, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to play this game, and it could take a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months even, depending on the length of the game. When you're sitting down to listen to music, guess what? Even if Animal Crossing is just the music, and even though there's a lot of them, it's only 12 hours of music. You know what I mean? So it's like, me personally, I've been using the app, like not even a lot, but like somewhat regularly. I'm already I already finished like up to Fire Emblem. So from 85 to 2003, I've listened to everything they have on the app already. And it's just like, for me, this, it sucks being on the app net right now because like there's so many things like I want to think about. Like I want to put on the Majora's Mask, soundtrack. I want to put on like the Pokemon Gen 2 soundtrack or Gen 1 soundtrack. Like there's so many games that come to mind.
They're lining it up for when they release the game.
I guess, but it's just like I just don't think this is the kind of thing that you need to spoon feed, drip feed like to us. Like you have it behind your paywall of NSO. Like, and that's fine. Like I'm genuinely okay with them doing it this way. Where it's like, hey, if you want to use our app, you want to get on NSO because. And we're seeing this with Nintendo right now, and I think it's a doubling down of lifestyle. They don't want to just be your game maker. They want to control your lifestyle.
I think it's fine if you already have the Nintendo ESO, NSO, but if you just want to listen to the music and you have to pay $20 a year for this to play these old songs, and it's not even like a whole catalog. You're just getting. I think it's ridiculous.
So Ty,
such a Nintendo thing to do.
It is. So Ty says, Look at this guy. You won't knock Nintendo for trying this app to their paid online store, but I'm sure if a corpo did this, you would turn them greedy. Nintendo fanboys are tripping, yo. 12 hours worth of original music. Oh, all for a simple fee of $20. I need to preface my corpo takes by saying Nintendo. Maybe everyone will be on my side. First of all, you clearly, like, bro, you listen to this show. You know how honest we are with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Especially me. Like, you know this. I'm just saying, if they launch this app, I can understand it being like you need to be a part of NSO. Because all the music, like, streaming, like, services, like, they all cost money. I mean, like, yeah, you can, like, get Spotify free or whatever, but, like, what kind of savage would do that? You know what I mean? Like, who would not pay for YouTube Premium in today's world?
YouTube Premium's different.
It's...
YouTube Premium is a better service than Spotify. I'll give it that.
No, YouTube Premium's great.
That's what I said. It's a better service
than Spotify.
Okay. Yeah,
but so get YouTube Premium.
But it's not worth it.
It is worth it.
It isn't.
Devereaux, I'm going to be real with you.
There's nothing that you can do on there that I can't.
I despise when you DJ. Because we'll be like jamming out, having a good time, and then an ad will pop up, and I'm like, the immersion's ruined. The immersion's ruined. The vibes are dead. The vibes are dead.
Like, the vibes are dead, and the next song's already playing, and you're like, oh my god, ads, and now I have to restart the song because you just talked for 30 seconds, and the ad's only 5.
Because you kill it. First of all, they're not 5. It's not 5 seconds.
There are 5 seconds.
It's like 20 seconds.
No, they're not. They're 5 seconds.
It kills the vibe.
It counts down to when you can skip it.
Listen,
you kill the vibe.
Listen, I am a huge vibes guy. If something doesn't pass the vibe, you're the one that kills the vibe. You keep killing it. Stop it. You know you're full of it. You know you're like throwing money at
unnecessary things.
Ty, talk to him. It's not. Free. It's not. It is.
And now you're paying for Nintendo music, and soon you're gonna be paying for Pokemon cards. You're just throwing your money down the toilet.
First of all, you're not wrong about the last point. I'm definitely gonna pay for the Pokemon cards, and they're not even real Pokemon cards.
You already have NSO, so I get it.
Yeah, I have NSO regardless. So for me, this is just another.
It's just an addition.
It's another reason to be a customer, an NSO customer. And so, like, I get it. It's the same thing with like Xbox, and you look at Game Pass. It's like, hey, it makes a lot of sense for them to link the streaming to Game Pass. Like, as someone who's part of Game Pass, like, that's great. You know what I mean? It doesn't change. Could I see someone who's not part of Game Pass upset about that? Yeah, I could understand why someone would be like, that sucks. I want to be able to do it too.
But I feel like it's a little different with this because it's just music.
It's just music.
It's just music. And if you just want to listen to those songs that you've played, like 20 years ago, you played these games.
Yeah.
Now there's a barrier. It's weird. But
no, I get it.
You can sync it to your alarm clock, right? Isn't that awesome?
Well, again, so my observation I'm making with Nintendo is they just want to be a part of. They want to control your lifestyle because we're seeing a Nintendo right now where it's like, hey, here's an alarm clock. Hey, here's a music streaming app. Hey. Here's a fucking Nintendo Direct for the Japanese part of our Orlando studios. Or not Orlando, Universal Studios in Japan. Yeah. It's like, why was that a Direct? I didn't even watch it today. Maybe I'll watch maybe later, maybe some other day. Not today, not this week probably. It's like, I'm not going to Japan anytime soon. Like, that could have been an email. That should have been a tweet. You know what I mean?
It showed up right here as one of my suggestions. Super Nintendo World Direct.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd, and that's just what Nintendo wants, though. They want to be a part of your daily lifestyle. They want you to wake up using your with your Alarmo. They want you to
Pokemon pack.
head on to work, head on to work while listening to their music app, and then while you're on your break at lunch, they want you to be opening up your Pokemon cards, and then on your way home, you're listening to more music. And then, like, you're also checking your fucking Nintendo sensor on your finger that never came out back in the day. And then you come home, you turn your Switch on, and you're playing Nintendo games.
You gotta get your steps in, though, with your little Pokemon walk.
And hold on, so Ty is actually right, because I did not do a good job defending YouTube Premium. He says, YouTube Premium is more than ad-free YouTube. It's a lifestyle. One does not go ad-free and then go back to peasantry. One is elevated beyond his peers. One sees the world differently. Ad-free. Ty, just for that, you're getting a free pass. Next time you say something where I want to put you in timeout, I will legitimately not put you in timeout. Because that was one of the most correct things he's ever said. You can't, it's a lifestyle, and you can't just go back. It's like, it would be like, hey, like, you drink sewage water your whole life, and then you, like, have clean water, and you're like, this is incredible. Like, oh my god, like, this will save my liver. you know, and then all of a sudden you're just like, nope, back to the sewage water. Like, no, we're not going back.
It's not worth it yet for me. $8 a month. How much is it? $9 a month.
It's 15.
$15 a month is not worth it. And all the other bullshit that comes with it is just does it. I don't care about that.
YouTube Premium is the one subscription.
You keep trying to say like, oh, you can lock your phone with it, like as if that's a selling point.
It is a selling point.
No, it's not. It
is a selling point. What are you talking about?
It's not a selling point.
Have you ever had your phone in your pocket and just like you accidentally pause the video?
No.
You're full of shit. Shut
up. It's not a selling point.
You're so full of it.
That's crazy.
Ty, am I wrong though? It's like drinking sewage water, and then all of a sudden you drink clean water, and then Deborah's over here like, why are you drinking clean water?
Insane. $15 a month.
You got to go back to the sewage tap, man. You got to go back to the sewage.
Insane.
God, ridiculous. Anyways, the Nintendo Music app will be good someday. Right now, it's really lame that it just feels so bare bones. Like, it with streaming services, content is king. You know what I mean? Like when Disney Plus launched, it was like, wow, look at all this back catalog for Disney. Could you imagine if Disney was like, hey, here's Pocahontas and Beauty and the Beast and like a TV Disney movie from 2003. We'll see you guys next week for another release. Like, no, like they came out and they were like, hey, here's like 100+ hours worth of stuff you can watch.
Yeah, there's no reason in gatekeeping.
There's no reason. It's yours. You own it.
Yeah.
You own the soundtracks.
Are the Disney music on Spotify?
I don't know.
Like that's one.
I don't really use Spotify that much. I use Amazon Music.
They should just like Nintendo should just instead of trying to create their own platform, just put it out there for. I don't know. I don't get it. It's another Nintendo thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll keep you updated when they add stuff to that too. Again, like that's just, you know. Next up, number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is doing very well for itself. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, has gone on record saying that Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty launch ever. This news came amid Microsoft's first quarter call, held just days after Black Ops 6 hit the market. This was the first Call of Duty to be released on Game Pass Day 1, which was a huge win for Xbox. It was mentioned by Nadella that the launch of Black Ops 6 set a record for the number of new Game Pass subscriber additions, or ads. Speaking during the conference call, Satya said, last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for Day 1 players as well as Game Pass subscriber ads on launch day. And unit sales on PlayStation and Steam were also up 60%, over 60% year over year. This speaks to our strategy of meeting gamers where they are by enabling them to play more games across the screens they spend their time on. So, yeah, clearly Call of Duty has been a big hit. Game Pass does not seem to have really slowed the game down too much. There are sales charts where you can see that there were less sales, but again, like I just don't think that's what Xbox is looking at right now. They're looking at active users, and for them, this clearly was a big success for them. It really makes me feel good about the future of Game Pass because I didn't know how they were going. I was very unsure, like what was going to do well. I guess I don't have it in this, but one of the heads of Call of Duty, one of the developers said that a lot of their numbers are showing that a lot of players, this is their first Call of Duty in years because they came back to the franchise due to it being on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
So it's like for them, it's like, hey, it's on Game Pass. Let me get back in and try it. And that kind of leads into why this is like one of the biggest launch. It is the biggest launch in Call of Duty history. I've had more time to play it. I've completed the campaign. I got all the achievements for the campaign. It's a phenomenal campaign. It's very good. The multiplayer it's really good. Really love it. Got some new maps coming out. Season 1 starts in like 3 days, like this week. So we're getting a lot of content this week for Call of Duty as well. And I played Zombies for the first time on yesterday.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. It's really good. So I mean, if you I keep saying it, like if you have Game Pass, go play Call of Duty. And like if you don't have Game Pass, get Game Pass to play Call of Duty.
Okay.
And it's like, and if you don't want to get Game Pass, go out and buy Call of Duty because it's a really good game. It's very good. I don't think I still have more time to play Zombies, so I don't want to like sit here and give it like a review score because I do like. But like if you like twisted my arm right now and like put a score on it, like 9.5 out of 10, like it's an excellent game. In terms of Call of Duty, like there's not much more I think you can really ask from Call of Duty. You have an excellent campaign with variety. Like that's the other thing. Like, it's a very variety-filled Call of Duty campaign. which in my opinion, I think that really kind of a lot of the greats in Call of Duty campaigns, like what sets them apart is that variety. And there's a lot of it. It's really good. Multiplayer is addictive as ever. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So. Okay. Next up in the headlines, Indiana Jones Great Circle has been confirmed to be running at 60 frames per second on both Xbox Series X and Series X. Indiana Jones The Great Circle could be Xbox's answer to PlayStation Spider-Man, says Windows Central, even though the game's coming to PlayStation in 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is. But yeah, they confirmed that it's going to be 60 on Xbox Series X and S. They did drop like a full walk or detailed like deep dive in the game today. I have not gotten to watch it, so I can't really give a lot of opinions on it. Mm-hmm. But this is a game that I'm really excited for. I remember sitting here at the beginning of the year with Ty on his podcast, on his show, and talked about like my most anticipated game of the year, and I said Indie.
Is it still Indie?
I mean, yeah, at this point, there's still some really good games coming out this year. We're like getting close to the end game, but like, yeah, I'm very excited for it. Ty says that he thinks Stalker 2, Spyro, Flight Sim, and Indiana Jones is good content to keep Game Pass subscribers subscribed. Yeah. Absolutely, like, and we've talked about this, and I think at this point the key to Game Pass needs to be a steady flow of content. You need to keep it trickling. And see, like, Nintendo, take notes. This is how you trickle content, where it's like now it makes sense to not have like all come out at once. You know what I mean? So we had Call of Duty, and we have Spyro tomorrow, which we'll talk about that later in the show, and then Stalker comes out next week, and then Indiana Jones comes out in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? It's just like we're just gonna keep going through till the end of the year, and then I don't know what January holds, but then February we're getting right back into it. We get Avowed, and then like we still have like 4 games slated for 2025 that we don't have release dates for.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I'm very excited for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. A lot of the previews, you know what they said that really made me excited? They said, I can't remember. I don't remember which one it was, so I can't direct quote it. But one of the previews said that this feels like an installment in the movie franchise, where it's like, in the future, when you go back and like, hey, I want to watch the Indiana Jones movies, like you have to make time to play the game. They said
that's cool.
Like, well, Todd Howard said there's over 3 hours worth of cinematic game, so you're getting a movie in this game around the gameplay.
Okay,
it's like I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, number 5 in the headlines. Now, you thought this was bad news, and I'm to get your take on this. Wolverine's creative director has left PlayStation and Insomniac to go work at Xbox and work on Perfect Dark. According to Tillo's game file, Brian Horton has left Insomniac over the summer. He is now the creative director on Perfect Dark, being developed by the Initiative. And an representative told GameFile that Horton will be bringing his wealth of experience to the upcoming reboot of the classic Secret Agent series. Totillo's report states that Horton left Insomniac and Wolverine as part of creative changes around the game. Another move made was that Cameron Christian is no longer game director on Wolverine. Instead, he moves to a different, currently unknown role with the studio. Taking over as Wolverine's game director and creative director are Mike Daly and Marcus Smith, respectively. The two were leads on Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Sony not want to answer. Before we get your take on this, let's go over the chat. Ty says, do you guys think Nintendo needs to reach out to third parties for the Switch support? For example, Elden Ring, Street Fighter, Tekken, and Metaphor should all be day one. I think that Nintendo, if you look at the Switch, look at the success that the Switch had, a big reason for that, they were able to get that third-party support back. I think Nintendo, if they want to continue to be a dog like they were with the Switch, and that's not a biased answer, like that's just factual. Like Nintendo is the top dog in gaming now, and they have been before. Like when they weren't during the Wii U era, like they just weren't.
Yeah. And
it's because they didn't capture the gamer market share. They didn't try to get parties on board. It's like I think Nintendo absolutely needs to. Mm-hmm. I think they will as well, especially with a more powerful Super Switch.
I also think developers will probably reach out to them because, again, there's so many Switches out there. There's going to be a lot of these Super Switches out there. You want your game on a platform like that.
And here's the thing: if you're a developer, I'm actually going to disagree with Ty on something. I don't think that these games need to come out on Super Switch day one. Because a lot of people that I like, content creators I watch, and people that I watch, I remember when the Switch came out and they would like randomly get like an announcement for a game that was already out on other platforms. Mm-hmm. They almost always it'd be like, "Oh, I want to take that game on the go. I'm buying this game a second time." So it's like if you're like let's just say if you're oh no, I'm having a brain fart. What's the developer of Elden Ring? Just From Software.
Yeah.
If you're From Software and you're just like, "Hey, Nintendo, why don't you guys put out Elden Ring on the Switch or the Super Switch?" Right? It's like there's gonna be a bunch of people that bought Elden Ring the first time.
They're gonna
buy it again. So no, I actually disagree with you. I don't think Nintendo needs to get that day one release support. As long as the support comes eventually, like the developers probably don't mind it. They're like, hey, we'll put our games out on the other platforms for the first year. Nintendo has enough first party where they could stay afloat forever, really. I mean, they made it through the Wii U era.
But I would have to imagine that whenever the Super Switch releases, whatever that release date is, they probably have a lot of third-party support games like lined up, just ready to drop on day one for that. You know?
Yeah. Well, let's get back into this. So, I actually do agree with you in one regards. I do think that this is worrisome about Wolverine. The fact that they've lost their creative director and their director.
Yeah.
I do think that that's very concerning. You said it was concerning, though, for Perfect Dark as well.
Only because Perfect Dark, since they've announced the studio, the Coalition, it's just been a change of hands. Like, 4 or 5 times we've heard about a change of hands, a change of director, a change of this. People were leaving, quitting. It's just like... Well, I get it's good that they're getting good talent. They're getting a director from Wolverine. Mm-hmm. So like it's just both sides. It just seems like I don't know.
So I'm going to devil's advocate you a little bit here. So I think that yes, there was problems in the past with Perfect Dark, but since Crystal Dynamics has kind of taken over, like making a studio is hard. So when Xbox went out and made the initiative, like it's just the unfortunate way of things. Like not every team is going to mesh. It's not always going to work out.
But even since Crystal Dynamics joined,
since Crystal Dynamics took over, it's been pretty. I think it's been pretty solid.
No, they've already told like a bunch of people left still after Crystal Dynamics joined. It's just like
I guess I don't know. I'm not super worried about Perfect Dark, and I'm not even worried about Wolverine to be honest with you. Yeah. But I mean, admittedly, like right now, reacting to this news, it definitely doesn't sound good for that. Ty says, Jez and Rand hinted that Xbox will be releasing new hardware next year, hardware that could be in your hands. People will buy Elden Ring there instead of Switch 2, no? I mean...
I think it depends. I think people who buy... There are certain people who are going to play on a Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's definitely... There are people that are going to buy the Nintendo platform. Because the one company that will never, ever put their games on other platforms is Nintendo. Mm-hmm. They are the ones. Like, I think PlayStation, I still argue that if PlayStation were to realize where the market's headed, I think PlayStation would be more willing to do it, to release games elsewhere, including Xbox. I don't think Nintendo, in our lifetime, is going to look at a situation and be like, we are going to put Mario on Xbox and PlayStation.
They also don't need to.
No, they don't need to, but, like, I don't know. So... Yeah, I like Ty, like I guess, but it really comes down to like where are people going to buy it? I mean, we'll see. I don't know. That's a great question though. And then Ty agrees with you. He says that he thinks it's good that they got this guy, but wasn't Perfect Dark supposed to be released next year? Creative change. Fair, but I would also.
Is it supposed to be released next year?
It is slated for 2025.
Because that's even crazier that you're getting a new creative director.
To be fair, hold on. So I'm gonna again devil's advocate. Star Wars Outlaws, which has already come out.
Also a shit game.
They just got a new creative director, and the game's been out.
That too.
So we don't know. Like for all we know, this creative director might be planning post-launch content. Again, I'm just devil's advocating.
Of course, because it's Xbox.
No, it's because of Crystal Dynamics. I really love Crystal Dynamics. They aren't owned by Xbox.
No.
Crystal Dynamics is a phenomenal studio. They've done extremely good work, and so I'm giving them what I'm leaning on right now is I'm giving Crystal Dynamics the benefit of the doubt on this. This is not
remember Crystal Dynamics is just a helping hand. They're working on
no, they basically took the reins.
So the coalition is just not a thing anymore.
No, you're thinking of the initiative. The
initiative?
Coalition's Gears.
Yeah, the initiative is not a thing anymore?
No, I'm sure that they're doing some work. I'm not saying it's all Crystal Dynamics, but like I don't know, man. I think I love Crystal Dynamics.
A year before your game comes out, I would have to imagine that at least 80% of your game is done.
I guess
right?
we'll find out then. I mean, if I would assume they're going to delay the game within the next 6 months, then. So if it's where you're speculating it is, then I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
But in June, they seemed pretty happy with putting a 2025 on it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, they've had to delay things in the past, but that kind of makes me think that they would be more cautious about it now. Keep in mind, they didn't want to give a release date for Avowed until we were getting close to a month out.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, here's the date. But then they ended up moving it because of Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Avowed was done. It could have released, but they were just
I get it.
And they've been doing that.
A new creative director is just that's I don't know. Your game should be where it is right now. You should have an idea of what the creative point you're going for in a game that's slated to release. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just on both sides. It seems a little.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Number 6, Nintendo also announced a Xenoblade Chronicles X remaster for Switch, and that is coming out on. That's crazy. I think March 30th. They said it was either March. I think it was March 30th. March 20th. So this is just another. This is one of the very few Wii U games left stranded on the Wii U. So getting Xenoblade Chronicles X over on the Switch is a great move by Nintendo, in my opinion. Ty says the employees. Crystal Dynamics was the body of the world. Crystal is the muscle. Initiative is the head, but seems Crystal is also the head. Again, I'm you could say it's just Xbox. I've been very critical of Xbox.
It's just not a good look.
I'm leaning on the fact that I trust Crystal Dynamics. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But all I know is that I have never played a game made by Crystal Dynamics where I was like, that wasn't very good. I'm sorry. Crystal Dynamics is going to get the benefit of the doubt here. Until proven otherwise, a good track record matters to me. So, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for it. Number 7, Black Ops 6 Season 1. New maps were revealed along with a bunch of other content. So the new maps are Heirloom, Hideout, and Extraction. They're going to be available for 6v6. Heirloom will also be available for the 2v2 modes. And then I thought I had man, my links are not good today. I thought I had a roadmap too, but Black Ops 6 Season 1 starting this week. A lot of good content from that. More maps, always really good. They definitely took the critiques of the last few to heart, and their seasonal updates seem like they're mostly trying to do new maps. I think one of the maps is a remake from Black Ops 4 though. But I didn't really play the multiplayer because I was too busy playing Blackout. So it'll be basically a new map to me. Okay. But yeah, new maps definitely welcomed. Really quick too. I love this Season 1 starting up 3 weeks later kind of thing, where it's all right, cool. We're getting right into Season 1.
Yeah, I like that. It should be like that.
Right. Number 8 in the headlines, we got the reason why Assassin's Creed Shadows was delayed. This comes from the boss of the game, the franchise's vice president and executive producer, Mark Alexis Cote. Cote addressed the franchise's inconsistency in quality over the years, talked about changing not just for the franchise, but for Ubisoft as a whole. During a BAFTA event last week, Mark Alexis Cote was able to answer several questions regarding Shadows through an interview with Eurogamer. He started by acknowledging that Ubisoft's performance faced criticism in recent years for a perceived inconsistency in quality. He speaks about how the community wishes for more polish, more innovation, and deeper engagement from the games they release, which is helping them to be better. He explains that the delay of Shadows gave them the opportunity to change that narrative, not just for Assassin's Creed for all. Ubisoft, he expands, stating that the upcoming game has potential to be one of the best in the franchise. However, he knows being amongst the best is not enough. That is why Cote decided to delay the game. The tests and feedback made it clear that the has immense potential, but it needs more time to meet players' expectations. Yeah, great. It sounds great. Like, take your time. I'd rather the game be the best game it can be.
I agree with that.
Shigeru Miyamoto, we always say it. You bust out the quote. Like, a bad game is bad forever. A delayed game is only bad for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
And they need this. Ubisoft needs this.
Ubisoft needs some wins really bad because they have not. Like, again, like, it's crazy to me because on paper, going into this holiday season, right? When, like, I look at, like, if you, like, go back in time, like, 6-7 months, right? Like, I'm like, damn, this is such a great year for Ubisoft. They got an open world Star Wars game, and they have this feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game. Like, this is awesome. This is, like, what I want from Ubisoft. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, the quality is not really there on... I haven't played Star Wars yet, so I can't really comment on it. But obviously,
it's better than what
people were lukewarm on it. They, it didn't wow people. And then this game, they clearly delayed it for a similar reason. Yeah. So
this one has to do well. So
I agree. I think it will do well. Personally. Number 9, the headline: Square Enix made it clear that they are done with exclusivity on platforms. More Square Enix are making their way to Xbox and PC with day and date releases to their PlayStation counterparts, according to comments made by Square Enix director and executive officer Naoki Yoshida, aka Yoshi P, in an interview with 4Gamer.net. Square Enix announced its plans to bring more games to Xbox and PC earlier this year after they failed to meet their sales goals. Fantasian Neo Dimension was among the first titles to launch simultaneously on all platforms. And that's slated to release on December 5th. It's coming out on Xbox, PC, PlayStation, Nintendo. It's actually, I believe Fantasian is the last game being made by the...
Do you think Sony swoops in and tries to buy Square Enix?
Oh, man. That's a great question. I don't know. Honestly, I think Sony looks at it... I mean...
The reason I asked is because they've put a lot of money into the Final Fantasy franchise. These newer ones, at least. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is like...
So here, let me tell you why I think that they won't.
They won't?
They won't.
Okay.
Because if Square Enix themselves is looking at their numbers and they're saying, hey, this is not enough. If you're Sony, if you're like an investor for Sony, mm-hmm. and they're like, hey, we want to go buy this company. And you look at it as like, wait, these guys just said that what they're doing isn't enough. Is that a sound business decision?
I don't know.
I don't think it is. And again, like, I don't know. Like, I just... Seeing Xbox's success, right? Like, seeing the massive successes that they're having. Like, you got to think, if you're Sony, looking at it, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we were selling, like, millions more copies of all our games? Like, wouldn't it be cool if instead of 1.5 million, Astrobot was on, like, Switch and Xbox and maybe picks up, like, another 3 million from Nintendo users mostly, but also some, maybe you pick up, like, 250,000 from Xbox or maybe 1 million from, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but the only reason it sounds opposite because I know that Sony games are selling more than Xbox games. And, at least unit-wise. And I would have to imagine, if they're looking at Xbox... Xbox has been buying companies. They've been making a lot of acquisitions in the past 10 years. I don't know if Sony has it. This is Square Enix. This is like the Sony. You know what I mean? Like it's the. I don't know. This is really big.
I hear what you're saying, but I think if you look at like the Xbox release, like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters came on Xbox, shot up the best sales charts. It's like if you're Square Enix, it's like okay, maybe you're willing to sell, but like. Is it worth it for PlayStation to just do what they were already doing with Square Enix? I don't think it is at this point. Okay. Let's go over to the chat. Ty says, it's a bad day for dev. Xbox gamers buying Japanese games. Square Enix saying exclusive sucks. Kojima agreeing with them. How many more L's can you take today? Don't forget, Ty, he also was talking about how YouTube Premium's not worth it.
It's not.
There's so many things. Devereaux, how are you still alive?
What do you mean?
You're taking all these L's.
So you're telling me it's not good for a a console to have exclusives?
I'm just reading Ty's
Especially
comment.
if you have way more than the competition.
Deborah, can I chat, please? Ty also says
I like you didn't answer that question. Is it not a different? Is it a different question for you to answer?
Listen, we're a very interactive show, and I try.
But you don't want to interact with me.
I'm interacting with our audience.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to you.
All right.
God. Sony. Ty says Sony buying Square doesn't make sense. Square AAA games cost money and only sell like 3 to 5 million. PlayStation games cost as much as 20 million copies, or cost as much and sell 20 million copies.
They cost money
Devro,
that Sony has gave them.
Ty just handed you another L.
What are you talking about? They cost money that Sony gave them. What's his name came out and said we couldn't have made this game if it wasn't for the money that Sony put in our pockets.
Ty says Sony's acquisitions have been more trying to make profit live service games.
Yeah.
Buying Square is a profit move. It's
true.
a bad move. So Ty once again really putting you.
I don't know if it's a bad move though.
Ty is once again putting you in your place, and it is a great day for Ty. Honestly,
it's a great day because he agrees with you. That's the only thing.
No,
he's not right. He's not right. You guys.
He is right.
Wrong.
He's right.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
He agrees with you. That's why you're saying he's right.
You're being really rude to our friend.
All
right. You need to.
It just doesn't
simmer down.
It makes a lot of sense for
it doesn't
for Sony to buy it. All right.
This guy.
Okay.
It really doesn't.
All
right. Cool. You know what, Devereaux? I think you have a calling. Next up in the headlines, I think I know just where you should go. The day before developers, fantastic.
Why do you keep throwing these guys in the news cycle?
Because
let them die.
It's almost as funny as the hard articles.
It isn't.
Hold on, Devereaux, you have to hear this. The failed extraction shooter the day before are asking people to design levels for its next game. Fantastic took to announce a contest for people to design a map for its latest attempt at a game. Items. The catch is the winner of the contest won't be paid for their work. The contest is a chance for you to unleash your creativity by designing a map that, if it wins, will be added to the game in future updates, the announcement read. Rules for participating in the contest were then laid out, which include stating submissions can be 2D drawings, 3D models, however much work you want to do for them. Okay? Or any other style, they say. In addition to the map design, submissions need to include images and artwork, a full description, the map's theme, layoff, and balance considerations. The kicker, as mentioned earlier, is the person that creates the winning submission will not receive any payment for the time put into designing the map. Instead, they'll simply get a copy of the game if it ever releases. The map built for use in the game and their name displayed somewhere on the map. As of the publishing of this article, Insider Gaming said that only 6 maps were submitted. Which that's already too many.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a square. It's just like a picture of a square box in 2D, you know? Grifters, man. Grifters gonna grift, you know?
Let's let these guys die. I don't want to hear about them anymore.
Well, hopefully we don't, but we probably will.
Right up there with the stupid lawsuit.
The gamer lawsuit?
Yeah.
That was one of the greatest moments in our history. Number 11 in the headlines. We talked about it earlier, so I'll just kind of glance through it real quick. Star Wars Outlaws got a new creative director, Drew Reckner. He's taking over for Julian Garrity. It's going to be a lot of post-launch stuff that he's going to be working on. So
more keychains you can put in your bad guys. So.
Maybe. I would assume it's like more storylines though for like content, but I don't know. Number 12, we got some Activision Blizzard Game Pass updates. StarCraft Remastered and StarCraft 2 are both now available in PC Game Pass. This is as of, I believe, the 5th. And then today was the announcement made that Spyro the United Trilogy is coming to Game Pass tomorrow. November 5th. You alright?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is really cool news. I mean, we've been talking about getting their Game Pass for a while now. Wasn't really sure what the holdup was, but it seems like we're finally starting to trickle through. There is a Warcraft Direct, I believe, either this week or next week, and there are some rumors circulating that Warcraft, not WoW, but Warcraft, might get a few PC Game Pass releases. which I'd very much want that. Those are legendary games that I would love to get in Game Pass. Number 13 in the headlines. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on Switch has outsold the GameCube original. It sold 1.94 million units, plus 180,000 copies in 3 months. This exceeds the GameCube game's lifetime sales of 1.91 million units already, which is very exciting. I love this game. I want another Paper Mario in this style. So,
that's not surprising. I mean, that's really cool that they
can
outsell their original.
Yeah. I know that means that there's like so many people that have never played it before.
Yeah, who are playing it for the first time.
And that's so cool.
Yeah,
because it's such a great game.
This is the ad, the original GameCube for Paper Mario, 15 years ago.
For the
1,000 Year Door.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's been choppy all day.
What, your computer?
This YouTube in general.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
God, love the GameCube. One of Nintendo's best platforms, and it doesn't get the love it deserves. GameCube is so good. Agree or disagree? GameCube is a top 3 console of all time.
Top 3.
Because I think it is.
I don't know if it's top 3, but it's definitely, I would say top 5 at least. It's up there. I like GameCube.
We're going to do a tier list now for the consoles.
For consoles?
Maybe that'll be the next show. We'll do one. Number 14. Rockstar wants to...
Go.
I just thought this was really something.
Yeah.
So this isn't really news, but Insider Gaming pointed this out. Obviously, with the current events here in the United States, in 2018, one of Rockstar Games' co-founders revealed concerns about releasing GTA 6 during a Donald Trump presidency, his original presidency. This was during an interview between Dan Houser and GQ. In the 2018 interview, Houser expressed worries about releasing GTA 6 while Trump was chief diplomat, going on record saying, "It's really unclear what we would even do with it, let alone how upset people could get with whatever we did. Both intense liberal progression and intense conservatism are both very militant and very angry. It is scary, but it's also strange, and yet both of them seem occasionally to veer towards the absurd. It's hard to satirize for those reasons. Some of the stuff you see is straightforwardly beyond satire. Yeah. It would be out of date within 2 minutes, and everything is changing so fast." In a way, Houser was referring more to the state of society when Trump was in office, given that he and GQ referred to it as the age of Trump. Today, we live in a world where cancel culture can strike a project down overnight, but it's admittedly tough to imagine a touch of satire taking GTA 6 off the shelves post-launch.
I agree with that.
I completely agree with that. I don't think Houser has anything to worry about.
But he's saying, like, real life is so ridiculous that it's hard, like,
yeah,
they second think things when they put it in the game, which is, like, I get it.
So I need to ask you, right? And he says this, and a lot of times, like, they can't talk about things in the game, right? Do you think that maybe, like, somebody wrote something into this game where it's like maybe there is a president like that or like a political figure like that, and it's just like I don't know if they're going to do it.
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to touch like any presidency stuff, but they're going to touch the people that follow both sides. You're going to see a lot of far left and a lot of far right and a lot of liberals that are like they're going to do all the extremes, and I think that's what they're worried about in this world where like you can't do anything without the threat of being canceled.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I thought that was really funny. Worth sharing.
Sad.
Number 15 in the headlines. Death Stranding IP now belongs to Kojima Productions, and it shadow dropped on Xbox last week.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool. Kojima announced that the IP now belongs to the developer. The announcement came from via Automaton Media, reading, "In addition, Kojima Productions announced that the IP for this work will belong to the studio. They said that they will continue to connect more fans around the world in various forms of entertainment. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is scheduled to release for the PlayStation 5 in 2025. However, recent news could suggest the game could launch on day one on Xbox as well and PC. If PlayStation didn't get some form of marketing / exclusivity deal. So
they probably at least got a marketing deal at this point, but I think it's cool. I always think it's cool when the developer can get the rights to their own IP, their own creation. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's really cool when it does happen.
Yeah, Ty, for the record, yeah, we agree. They're not going to cancel. Nobody can cancel GTA. Yeah. It's not happening. But
was there something in Hogwarts Legacy worth canceling?
Because of J.K. Rowling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Which she's a piece of shit. Like, I'm not arguing that, but like, yeah, I mean, people love Harry Potter. Like, they're gonna yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what's really funny? I saw a video. Ty actually put this in our Discord. Which, if you're watching, you should join our Discord. It's in the description down below. Where when you launch up the game on Xbox, it's the same game because it's just a port.
Yeah.
And it launches up and it's like Sony Entertainment Presents on the Xbox. So it's kind of like that flip side where it's like when people were like, "Oh, look at this Xbox game, Sea of Thieves on PlayStation." It's like, there it is.
Yeah.
There is this PlayStation first party game.
And I think it's cool when, maybe not so much. I get people are going to be mad about it with Death Stranding 2, but I like it when it's. I mean, they don't own it anymore, so this is his game.
Yeah.
But I like it when the game comes out on the other platform, maybe a year after. You know what I mean? Give it time. If it's a IP that's owned, you don't agree with that?
Deborah once again fighting for exclusivity in gaming, folks.
Okay, you know what?
You hate to see it.
Why do you think there's a $700 PlayStation out right now?
Listen, if you're not pro-consumer, just say it. It's fine. You can say it. Just admit it. Ty admits it, that he's not always pro-consumer. Just admit it. Just say it. Just like, I don't care about the consumers.
But that's why I want exclusivity. Because I do care about the consumers. All right.
Number 16 in the headlines.
This guy just wants everything everywhere. You know what? Why is Indiana Jones taking 6 months on? Put it on PlayStation day one. You know.
Number 16 in the headlines. Take-Two Interactive gave an update on GTA's development as well. On last Wednesday, it came up. It's a small update. Many won't view it as much of an update at all, but it does continue the regular messaging that GTA 6 is scheduled for a fall 2025 release date, and they are confident that they will hit that release date. Number 17. Democrats are in disarray as President Trump has tweeted out that the U.S. Constitution is not canon. The newly emboldened Democratic Party is in disarray today after President Trump announced on social media that the United States Constitution is no longer canon. The tweet seen below was part of the 53-part thread about the government shutdown. He says, "I've said for years the USA Constitution is a weak document written by fools in wigs. Very boring, like the Star Wars extended universe. Many people have whispered about it. Only Trump is brave enough to declare that the U.S. Constitution is no longer canon." Democratic leadership was very upset about this. They said, "Who does he think he is, J.K. Rowling?" said House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on CNN. "This is a sad day for any American, especially those like me that have fond memories of cosplaying as the Bill of Rights during the bicentennial ConCon 1976 in the Capitol." You know.
Do we have to tell people that this is sarcasm, or do we not? Do we just let it go?
Speaker Pelosi was then swept away by a group of protesters in the Capitol Rotunda. She was last seen fighting Senator Kamala Harris in the gift shop for the final remaining first edition Constitution souvenir. During a hastily assembled press conference, the Trump administration defended the president's ability to edit the wiki of the United States. He says, it's, quote, "It's his right as commander-in-chief to declare what's canon and what isn't," said Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. "The Constitution was released too long ago to resonate with modern audiences. I mean, just look at its overuse of the equal branches of government trope. The document simply does not reflect how we want the country to be in the future, which, by the way, we are now calling the New 50. At press time, President Trump was asking aides if it'd be worth fan blowback to kill off a character as popular as Robert Mueller. So,
all right.
There was your hard drive satire for the week. It sucks. It's terrible. But moving on, something I'm very excited about. Number 18 on the headlines. Gears of War trilogy voice actors, the original Gears of War trilogy voice actors, are returning for Gears of War E-Day. Gears of War tweeted out last week, "We are so back. On today's 18th anniversary of Gears of War, we're proud to share that John DiMaggio and Carlos Ferro are reprising their roles as the iconic voices of Marcus and Dom in Gears of War E-Day." Gears of War E-Day is taking us back to where it all began, with a prequel focusing on very young Marcus Phoenix and his brother-in-arms, Dom Santiago. It's where we'll experience the brutal horror of Emergence Day through the eyes of Marcus Phoenix in the origin story of one of gaming's most acclaimed sagas. Deborah, this is my dream Gears of War game. Like, what I want out of a Gears of War game. I want Marcus and Dom. I want to see them meet. I want to see E-Day. I'm very, very excited for this.
I know.
And bringing back
the voices.
John and Carlos is just it's fucking incredible. Such a Gears I love Gears of War. You know, I was able to get you into it as well, and
I can't wait for people to play the PS5 Pro. It's gonna be awesome.
Why would you do that?
What?
Why would you do that?
Well, I'm switching over to your side.
You're just being incorrect now.
I'm switching over to your side.
It's a red line game. They're not going to put Gears of War or Halo on PlayStation.
We'll see.
Devereaux.
Exclusivity is dumb, right?
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
But it's not pro-consumer?
I
definitely want to be pro-consumer.
I said...
Here,
money
to the mic. What did you say?
I said money deals, like Sony paying Square Enix for exclusivity, is bad.
Okay.
I did not say first-party exclusives are bad.
Okay.
You're misquoting me. You're trying to fit into the current U.S. climate and just be in general a jerk. And I really
was just agreeing with you.
You weren't. You were being facetious.
Okay, so I don't know where to stand now. You know.
You stand on your own, Devereaux. Stand on your own, Devereaux.
Is good. I don't get it.
It's like Ezio Auditore once said: "Don't follow me or anyone. Like, be your own person. All right?
Okay.
Believe what you want to believe.
Okay.
You just happen to be wrong most of the time. It is what it is." God. I'm really excited for Gears of War. Anyways, Nintendo's suing Pal World. Are you ready to find out why Nintendo is specifically suing Pal World?
Why are they suing them?
Well, several weeks ago it was announced that after months of seemingly building a case, Nintendo was suing Pocket Pair, the makers of Pal World. They just announced that Nintendo is demanding 10 million yen plus late payment damages from them. Now, 10 million yen is not a lot of money comparatively. It's only about $66,000 US. But people are wondering what the number will be for the late fee or whatever that is. Mm-hmm. Late payment damages. I'm sure that's where they'll really get them, where it's like $10 trillion. Anyways, so basically it's around a patent, but it's actually like 3 individual patents. So are you ready? These are the 3 patents that Game Freak has. Nintendo, Game Freak, whatever. That they have. These are the 3 patents that they have that they say Pal World is infringing on.
Okay.
Number 1, the first patent is about aiming and firing some sort of item toward a character in a field. It specifies in a field, triggering a combat state. Okay?
Okay.
That's the first patent. Number 2, something about being able to capture creatures in the wild rather than just in a battle setting.
They have patent that?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 3, riding creatures in an open world and transitioning between those creatures.
What do you mean transitioning between those creatures?
I think it means like switching from creature to creature as you're riding them.
You can't do that in games? Only Nintendo can do that?
Well, Nintendo has the patent for these 3 things. Keep in mind, Nintendo has a bunch of crazy patents. They have like a patent about like say you're like playing a game and you run behind a building and you see your gray silhouette that's a patent Nintendo owns.
See, here's the thing with, like, if they kick this off, a lot of developers, not just Power World, they do these
But the problem is Nintendo is just suing specifically Power World.
Yeah.
But this is why Nintendo does these patents like this, because again, they're the devil. They are the devil of games. Where it's like, hey, you know this simple feature of being in a field and starting a combat stage in a field, specifically in a field? Nintendo's like, yeah, well, we patent that. And they'll use it when they want to use it. Like, there are games out there like Valkyria Chronicles where it's like, that's a turn-based game that you kind of instigate combat in a field. But you don't see Nintendo freaking out about that. You know why? Because Nintendo doesn't care.
Yeah, they're not making enough money, I guess.
Yeah, or like they're not making a game like that. Nintendo does these really shady things where they put these little weird patents on things. It's like, hey, you don't even need to rip off Pokemon. They don't even care that the Power World developers put Pokemon into an AI thing and the AI thing spit these things out. It's like they look just like Pokemon. They don't even need to care about that. Which, ironically enough, they could probably win off that alone. But, I don't know. You know, that's why. Those are the reasons. So, you know. Number 20 in the headlines. While as a nation we were collectively losing our minds last Tuesday night, Nintendo just showed up in the chat and said, hey, guess what? Guess what, Devereaux?
What?
Super Switch is backwards compatible with the regular Switch. And I'm like, Nintendo, could you fucking not right now? Yeah, this is great. Like, they're literally like I'm like so serious. Like, it was like 9 o'clock. Things were starting to shift bad.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's like, hey guys, Super Switch is backwards compatible. We have nothing else to share. Yeah. We're just saying this one tweet. Like, hey, it's backwards compatible. See you later.
Stocks rose 6%, so maybe that's...
I mean, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Also, I love when Nintendo tweets, because it's like they always have to make it clear who's saying it. So, like, in the tweet, they say, "This is Furukawa, the president of Nintendo. This is hi, I'm Furukawa writing this tweet. I'm typing the tweet myself at today's corporate management policy briefing," which, like, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Corporate
management policy briefing.
Yeah.
We announced that the Nintendo software will also be playable to the successor to the Switch. NSO will also be available to the successor as well. Information will be released at a later date. So,
that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's great. I'm very excited for the Super Switch, but you know. But I think it's big for them. That's something we talked about. That's something we talked about earlier this year about what we want to see from the Super Switch. Well, it's like sounds like they're checking two of those boxes where like, hey, backwards compatibility and NSO carrying over, which that's big. Like, do not start the NSO library over again because I swear to God I'll unsubscribe. Like, I'm so serious. Like, Nintendo.
No, they already said it.
Look into my eyes. If the NSO comes out and you reset the whole thing back down to like whatever, I will unsubscribe from the NSO and I will not.
You can't unsubscribe. They patent that, and you will be sued.
No! You just made me so sad. Number 21. Warner Brothers games are focusing... Oh, hold on. Ty in the chat says these patents are bogus. They're only going for Power World because it's successful and because the PAL monsters look like Pokemon.
They're not even going after that. Like,
well, he's right though. They can't win on copyright because of Power World would just say, well, it's AI. You know, we didn't draw it. That's why they're doing it the way they do it. And yes, I agree, Ty. Ty again with another W today. You should probably take some notes from him.
I won't.
You should. He's
won't.
He's really putting you down, putting you to shame.
No, he's not.
You're holding a lot of L's and he's holding a lot of dubs. You know, I'm kind of over here looking like the Dallas Cowboys of this podcast.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, WB is focusing on Batman, Mortal Kombat, and Hogwarts Legacy moving forward. They admitted on their earnings call on November 7th that the game's business is substantially underperforming in its potential. This comes after games like Multiverses and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League lost the studio more than $300 million this year alone. Warner Brothers Games is going to put more emphasis on its most successful franchises moving forward. He said, "I think we're through some of the worst, and it hasn't been pretty on the gaming business." David Zaslav said during a conference call. But we have 4 games that are really powerful and have a real constituency that love them, and we're going to focus on those 4 primarily. We're going to go away from trying to launch 10, 15, 20 different games. Good. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I think we have a real chance now with focus on having the gaming business be steadier. He added, "We have 4 strong and profitable franchises with loyal global fans. Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and DC, in particular, Batman. We are focusing our development efforts on these core franchises with proven studios to improve our success ratio." Warner Brothers Games is already working on definitive edition of Hogwarts Legacy. Do you think Arkham's going to come back?
I hope so.
They're like, go back to the Arkham games. Stop making these.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you do in the Arkham verse, but do something, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good move from them. I really do. I think that they should just focus. Like, you tried to do, like you said it yourself, not you, them. You tried to make 20 games. And look how that worked out. Not well.
Nothing here I'm seeing, though, about live service stuff, so...
Well,
but that's also not a... like
live service games are bad.
What I'm saying is they could still move into live service stuff. They're not saying,
yeah, that'd be pretty terrible.
Single player, they're not going to...
Yeah, it'd be pretty terrible. That'd be pretty bad.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Piggybacking off of that, Warner Brothers also says Multiverses is one reason its games division is substantially underperforming. After mentioning upcoming film and TV projects, Zaslav said...
Wait, Multiverses isn't doing well?
No. But even in an industry of hit and misses, we must acknowledge that our studio businesses must deliver more consistently. This applies to our games business, which we recognize is substantially underperforming its potential. Zaslav noted didn't include Multiverses one of the successful franchises. Later in the call, CFO Gunnar Wiedenfels blamed the fighting game for contributing to a further year-on hit of $100 million in the games department in Q3. He said results were impacted by games, for which we took another $100 million impairment due to the underperforming releases, primarily Multiverses this quarter, bringing total write-down year-to-date to $300 million in our games business, and the key factor in this year's studio's profit decline. In Q4, we expect games to be flat to modestly better year over year. At last year's launch of Hogwarts Legacy on Switch platform in November is offset by lower costs. Multiverses was a hit when it initially launched in July 2022, seeing 153,433 concurrent players on Steam. At its peak, the player base quickly dwindled, however, and the game was closed down for almost a year. It returned at the end of May 2024 and hit a peak of 114,000 concurrent players, but this too has dropped, and the game now hits at peaks at about 1,700 a day. So that game is not doing well for them.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They're never going to do something like that again, though.
No, probably not. No, probably not. Number 22, Astrobot sold 1.5 million units, too much. This was announced from Sony themselves. It came via the company's Q2 earnings results with 1.5 million units as of November 3rd, putting the number just shy of a month from its September 6, 2024. Astrobot received universal acclaim by critics, but it has not really...
1.5, that's not... I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad.
Matt Piscatella, who is an analyst for this type of stuff, he said that the number is fine.
Okay.
He said it's not great, it's not good, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
this is a new franchise. I don't know.
It's not a new franchise. Astrobot's been around.
Astrobot's been around, but this is like the first Astrobot game, but full game. This isn't...
He's been coming packed in with the consoles for years.
Yeah,
for generations.
packed in as a free, like...
Yeah, which everybody plays these games. It's not a new franchise. You don't have to agree with that, but Astrobot is not a new franchise.
I don't...
It's just not. You're going to take another L today?
You can't, like...
What's your allowance of L's? How much do you like... You wake up in the morning, you're like, all right, I can afford to do 10 today.
This is a full, like, packaged game. This isn't like a demo thing.
No, it's not the first game. It's not their first game. Is it their biggest game? Absolutely. Is it their first game? Absolutely not.
All right.
I played Astrobot on the PS5, Astrobot's Playroom.
Yeah, I know.
That's a game. Too. It's a game. It's a real game.
Yeah, but this
with
is
trophies that released that you could buy and play.
This is a AAA game, though. That wasn't. That was a demo, a package.
So
game with a console.
Are you saying that AAA games are the only games that are real games?
No, but A packaged in game doesn't. I don't count that like.
So is Wii Sports not a game?
Wii Sports was a full game though, like a full game.
What? No, dude, shut up. Wii Sports has the exact same amount of content as Astrobot's Playroom on PS5. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, I have both. I played both. I got the platinum for Astrobot and played a lot of Wii Sports. There's 3 levels of golf. 3. God, terrible. How could you do this? You wake up every day and you're just like, you look in the mirror and you're like, all right, Dev, you got 10 today. You got 10 L's. Hold on to them. Acquire them. Do whatever you got to do. Like, you're not making any sense. Like, you're just not. I'm like, well, AAA games the only real games? No, that's not what I said. This sounds like what you said. Is Wii
you're
Sports,
putting words in my
you
mouth.
said Wii Sports is a full game and Astrobot's Playroom is not a full game.
I never said it was a full game. It's a game that's not. It's a packaged in like.
So was Wii
half
Sports.
product.
No. Wii Sports is a packaged in game, right? Came with every Wii, right? You don't even want to answer because you're trying to justify it in your head. You're just like, I got nothing. It's fine. Take that out. We're moving on. There it is, everybody. America really fucked up. We're gonna close today with this show with just a miserable headline. A recent study found that the cost of consoles, monitors, and other gaming goods are probably going to jump up in price. Donald Trump has won the presidency, and if he actually goes through with some of his policy proposals, the things he himself has said out loud, the consequences for gamers will be stark. One of the reasons electronics are so cheap in America is its robust trade relationship with China. During the campaign, Trump said he'd impose a baseline 60% tariff on Chinese exports. If he does that, the price of all of the stuff gamers love is going to go up. Laptop prices could spike by almost 50%. The cost of video game consoles would rise estimatedly around 40%, making the upcoming PS5 Pro cost almost $1,000. The Switch 2 may be backwards compatible, but it may cost a bit more than the original due to this. Trump campaigned on punishing China for a perceived trade imbalance with the United States. It was a winning issue for him in his original campaign, and one he acted on then. He spent time on the campaign trail saying he'd do it again. Trump's broad plan is to encourage a return to U.S. manufacturing through restrictive tariffs. A tariff is a flat tax on a trade good. The tariffs do not work the way most of the people that voted for him think they do. China does not pay the cost of those tariffs. The companies importing the goods from China do. Companies have been clear that if tariffs raise their cost of doing business, they're going to pass the cost to the consumer. If we get tariffs, we will pass those to the cost to the consumer. AutoZone CEO Philip Daniel said on an earnings call. So it's like, hey, you got to go to AutoZone to get parts for your car? Guess what? It's going to go up. Because the fucking CEO of AutoZone's like, we're not paying that. You need a new muffler? That sucks.
You gotta pay for it.
You gotta pay for it. But Gizmodo uses that as an example. I saw a really funny Reddit post. So I saw this on Reddit during the week. The first top comment, because again, a big thing with the tariffs is that they want to create more they want to make more things here in the U.S., which people don't realize that like how cheap it is to make it over there. Like people here in America, they want to be paid proper wages, and like things are not going to be the same price if you make it here. Like it's just not gonna happen. But the top comment was, I can't wait to play on my PlayStation 6 that was made by Americans. I can't wait to play my American PlayStation. Someone said that, just like, or like my American Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's.
So I mean, we'll see. But the guy himself told you he was going to do this. So, if you're gonna build a gaming PC, I would build it now. I would not wait. I would build it now. I don't have the money to build a gaming PC right now. I thought about it. Maybe in the next 4 years. Maybe, I guess I'm going to have to wait 5 years. Maybe longer. Maybe we'll all be dead by then. Who knows?
It's funny you think the prices will drop.
It's so funny. It's so funny. So that's the releases for the week. Deborah, you've held a lot of L's today. I just want to let you know that all is forgiven.
No, you're just really good at twisting words and making it so that you win. That's what you do.
Well, number one, I appreciate that you think I'm good at something. Number two,
yeah, you're good at lying and twisting and manipulating. Congratulations.
No, it's not true. You're making up stories. You're making up stories.
Look, you're doing it right now. I'm making up stories.
Ty says, "Imagine an American making Nike shoes. Enjoy your 200% premium charge, suckers." Yeah, it's fucking it's laughable. Makes no sense. And people don't understand how things work. It's a damn shame. This hat that I bought for $40. I wonder where it was made. Let's see. Hold on. We're leaving the gaming sphere. Bear with me. This is made in Vietnam. This $40 hat's probably going to cost about $70 in a couple of months. You know? Glad I bought it now. Go Birds, you know. Very happy with the hat. It's a great hat. Anyways, Deborah, here's the thing. Do you understand how ridiculous it is that you are trying to say that Wii Sports...
You know what I'm talking about, though.
No, I don't. Elaborate then. I'm trying to give you...
Astro World is the first AAA full series game that they're putting out and they're selling for $60 or $70 premium price. Mm-hmm. It is a first in the... When the next Horizon game comes out, there's 2 Horizon games beyond that people will say, I either played those or I want to play those before I play this third one. No one's going to be like, oh, I need to play Astro's whatever it was, the demo was for that, or I need to go play the Astro Move that they had on with the PlayStation Eye. So it is their first $70 full franchise game that people have to go out and pay for.
So, like, I'm not sure what metric you're using in terms of, like, oh... Like, it's the first game that matters. Like, so hold on. So you said, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You said that if you're playing Astro World or whatever, the new game, the one that came out. No, like the new one, Astrobot. Yeah. I think it's just called Astrobot, isn't it? You kept saying Astro World. Yeah, it's just Astrobot. Like, let's say you go and you play Astrobot, right? Mm-hmm. You said, oh, well, you don't got to go back and play the other 2. You can just play this one, right? You said that, correct? Okay, so it's like, do you have to go play Mario Sunshine to play Mario Galaxy? Does that mean Mario Galaxy, like, is Mario Sunshine not a real game? Is Mario Galaxy the first game in that franchise? Because you don't have to go play Mario Sunshine. You're not making sense.
Yeah, but this is something
like
that
your metrics that you're using, the things that you're using, the guidelines to say that Astrobot is the first game in its franchise is absurd. And then to say that, like, when I bring up Wii Sports as an example, here's the thing. If you had said, I don't think Wii Sports is a full game either, then at that point I could take a step back and be like, okay, well, he doesn't view those games.
Wii Sports, they're not trying to. There's no main character in Wii Sports that they're trying to push. They're trying to push
the Mii's are the main character. The Mii's are the main character. They want you to make a Mii.
Yeah.
But they want you to make the Mii. Just because you
create
it doesn't mean it's not true. The Mii fighters are fucking in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
they're clearly characters.
But again, you're trying to twist my words, but you know exactly.
I'm not twisting. I'm just arguing. I'm just arguing, and you have you don't have an argument here.
Don't we have releases to do? Go ahead.
We're ahead on time. We have time to do this.
Do the releases.
No. Hold on.
No, because everything I say, you're going to twist it to make it. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
How am I twisting?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
How am I twisting?
You're trying to twist it.
How am I twisting it? I'm literally just you're making an argument and I'm giving a counter argument. You're like, there you go, twisting it again. Like, no, I'm just right. You're not making sense.
Is Astrobot the first big AAA $70 game in the franchise? Yes or no?
$70 game, yeah. It's also not $70, right. Is it
$60, $70. It doesn't come prepackaged with the PlayStation.
Again, it's the biggest game in the franchise, but that doesn't mean it's the first game in the franchise.
Okay.
You said it's the first game in the franchise.
It's the first big game in the franchise. It is.
Just say it's the biggest game in the franchise.
But it's the first big game in the franchise.
Is size what makes a game AAA?
Yeah, and in a way, yes.
Call of Duty campaigns are like 6 hours, bro.
But there's a lot more into it, and it's a multiplayer.
Okay, there's 6-hour AAA games, like single player games.
Like
you can get through Halo, some of the Halo games pretty quickly.
Again, that's a multiplayer game. They want you to play the multiplayer in that.
You can beat the Mario. You can beat some of the Mario games pretty quickly too.
If you speedrun it.
I mean, speedrun. You could get through.
Is this not the first big AAA game for Astrobot? Yes or no?
It is the biggest game that they've made.
Is this not the first big AAA game for Astrobot? Just
Correct.
It's a yes
No,
or...
correct.
Thank
That's
you.
correct.
Thank
That's
you.
correct.
That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
That's what I was saying.
You said it's the first game in the franchise.
You were no. Make it sound like I was crazy.
No, you said it's a new franchise.
Is
so
this not the first big franchise $70 game for Astrobot? Yes or no?
It's not a new franchise.
Is this
It's
not
not
the
a new
first...
franchise. It's not a new franchise.
Is this not the first AAA game for Astrobot?
It's not a new franchise.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. Is this not the first AAA game for Astrobot? I said it 4 times already. Yes or no?
I already agreed with you on that. It's their first big AAA version.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's not what you said.
I said it 4 times.
Now you're saying it because I already destroyed your argument.
Thank you. Rome is a gaslighter. He is. He's an asshole gaslighter manipulator.
You
troll
keep
under
saying
the
it.
fridge.
You keep saying it.
Because you're not answering the question.
Oh my fucking god.
You did it.
Oh my god.
I said 5 times, is this not the first big AAA Astrobot game? And you said, it's not the first in the franchise. I didn't ask you that.
You did say that.
I didn't ask you that question.
Stop it. Now you're gaslighting me. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. You're so incorrect. So wrong.
How many times do I have to ask the same question and you don't even answer?
I just asked, is Astrobot actually a AAA game?
I don't know, but they're pushing it like it is.
Are they?
I feel like they are.
What constitutes a AAA game to you?
I mean, a full package. Like, I don't know. A full package, a lot of money, a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
At least a 20-hour game.
I just like how you had no answer for the Wii Sports thing, and then you turned it into you're gaslighting me. That's not what I said.
Because the Wii Sports isn't a...
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. That's not what you had originally said. And then
because that is what I originally said, and you like to twist and manipulate.
You're not twisting anything.
You're a troll.
You can go back and listen to it where you said it's a new IP for them. And I said, no, it's not a new IP.
You know what I mean, though. It is a new big AAA IP for them. It is.
But that doesn't mean... You were saying... Hold on. I'm not...
Yeah, you are. You're doing it.
No.
This is what you do. You do this every episode. No. You do this in life. You do this off camera, too.
I'm not even doing this.
This is what you do.
I'm really not even...
Rome is MAGA. Doesn't like facts. Always gaslighting. Yeah, he is. This is stressful. I have to deal with this all the time. Off camera, too. Because he knows what I mean. Ty, you know what I mean. People watching this, they know what I mean.
No, the Game Informer Memorial releases for the week.
Thank you.
November 11th. Everhome, Farming Simulator 25, Tetris Forever, Is This Game Trying to Kill Me, Songs of Silence, Dig VR Quest, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, Flint Treasure of Oblivion, Lego Horizon Adventures, Minecop, Following the Meaning, Blood Dome 99, Great God. My pick for the week is Dragon Quest III HD 2D. It's going to be a phenomenal game. HD 2D remakes have been very good, and this one will probably be no different.
You've been playing one for the past 2 months, so I hope.
I have been. Yeah,
I've
been playing Octopath Traveler. I finally beat Goldera. It's wonderful. So I'm on the home stretch of my run. What's your pick for the week?
It's going to be Lego Horizon Adventure. It looks like a great game. It's coming out on Switch as well as PlayStation, so I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of big games coming out.
I mean, those are 2 really big releases, I think.
I'm excited to play StarCraft. I'm wanting the StarCraft franchise.
Yeah, because it's on Game Pass now.
On Game Pass,
and it's on your PC, so you'll definitely be playing that. That's good. Probably get a Warcraft announcement this week as well, so that's also going to be good. But okay. Right now I'm playing, like I said, Octopath Traveler, hoping to finish that. Playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm kind of playing like 5 games right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot, so I'm going to try to hopefully be done with 1 or 2 of those 5 games.
My main game right now is the Pokemon TCG.
Yeah, I mean, it's eating up a lot of my time. I'm trying to, like...
I just got a pack to open. I might open it right now on camera.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
If we play this music, you think we'll get in trouble?
Yeah, probably. You might want to turn it down.
Gotta wait till it goes on the app. Alright guys, let's see. I got a Poliwag. I don't even know how to say this. How do you say this?
That's one of the Sun and Moon guys.
Pokemon?
Pyukumuku.
Yeah.
I would say that's how I'd pronounce it anyway.
Hitmonchan.
That's a good one.
Two Machokes. Okay.
I hate when that happens. They should remove that. I know that that's like kind of authentic still, but like I got a double out of one pack the other day, and I was like, oh, that's depressing. Especially when you only have so many to open in a day. Anyways, that's going to do it for us here at the Game Room Podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Join our Discord down below. I haven't given Deborah my Blue Sky yet. I'm pretty much on Blue Sky. I'm trying to transition off of Twitter because it's terrible. Blue Sky is doing really good. Blue Sky is right now the number 2 social media app in the U.S.
That's cool.
Number 3 in the U.K. It's actually like just a better experience all around. It's actually like well moderated and just it's like everyone over there is like really nice.
So you're not using Twitter as much, or are you kind of out, or?
I don't like right now. I'm still using Twitter just because there are there are people that I follow on a daily basis that are not on Blue Sky yet. But like every day, it feels like someone else is jumping over, and maybe like I want those people to leave Twitter. Just make sure they're posting at the same time on Blue Sky. Yeah, it's pretty much like there's not many left. Like I'm gonna probably make a list like for myself just to have like, hey, I still need these people before I like just delete Twitter off my phone.
Gotcha.
But I'm done with it. I don't even want to call it Twitter anymore. Like we can call it X now. Like it's kind of a dead app at this point, and like people are realizing that it's just kind of not a very great place. There's this one guy that I follow for wrestling, and he's really good at covering wrestling. He does a great job. He's a great follow if you like wrestling, and he is a black guy. And like on Twitter, people just say the most heinous shit. And like Twitter got rid of their block button officially like a couple weeks ago, and just like he's retweeting this stuff that people are sending him in their DMs and saying publicly on the app, not even DMing, and he's just like they're calling him like N-word and monkey and like really heinous shit, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this app? And then he went over on Blue Sky, and I followed him over there, and he's like, it's so much nicer here on Blue Sky. It's like nobody's saying mean racist things to me. Like if we disagree, like it's like actually like just a disagreement, and like at worst it just becomes like a conversation about wrestling.
Yeah, what a fall off for Twitter. Like,
well, I mean, kind of reflects where society's going, I guess. But you know. Anyways, we'll be back next week. Until next time, catch you guys later.